लक्ष्मीं सिंहं शरणं प्रपद्ये। श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्कितकेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदये। लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहत तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोः भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीरङ्गनाथशतगोपैतीन्द्रदष्टुं लक्ष्मी नृसिंहशतीर्थकरुणैकपात्रम् श्रीरङ्गवीररघुराट् शतगोपहृज्यम् वेदान्तदेशिकयतीन्द्रमहं प्रपद्ये। श्रीमते श्रीवंशगोपश्रीवेदान्तदेशिकयतीन्द्रमः देशिकाय नमः। Is that clear, Amma? 1000 such Mahayugas is just 12 hours of Brahma. And in that 12 hours of Brahma, 14 Indras will change, 14 Indras. So each Indra's time is only 308 million years, that's all. Imagine a Brahma living for 311.04 trillion years, whereas each Indra will stay only for 308 million years. From our point of view, 308 million years. You know, but Brahma's point of view, each Indra will stay only for 51 minutes and 25 seconds according to Brahma. In 12 hours of Brahma, 14 Indras will come and go. And the supremacy of Lord Krishna. Even Brahma is the child for Krishna. Krishna in his original form as Sriman Narayana, from whose navel the lotus will appear. And from that navel, the first created being is Deva, Brahma. The first created being is Brahma. And that Brahma lives for that many trillions of years, 311 point something trillions of years. Whereas if you are Indra, a very low grade job, by Brahma's time, he will live only for 51 minutes and some 30 seconds, less than 30, 25 seconds. That is the status of Indras. The power of the Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana is beyond our imagination. So Krishna says, these people, Devi Devatas, they all keep rotating, just as we keep rotating. Therefore, what is it that we can do? Why do you want to rotate and recycle every time? Attain Sri Vaikuntham and enjoy living in a world beyond the laws of nature. Beyond the laws of nature. How easy is it to understand to go beyond the Brahmaloka? How difficult? Very easy if you follow some simple principles. Very difficult if you don't want to follow. And Krishna says many great sages attained Vaikuntham. Many great sages. When we are here in the world, we are Baddha Jivatmas. When we are here, we are Baddha Jivatmas. When you reach the Supreme Lord, we are Mukta Jivatmas. Mukta Jivatmas who are liberated. Third category, Nitya Shuris who have never taken birth because of karma. The eternally liberated Jivatmas, Mukta Jivat, sorry, Nitya Shuris, eternally liberated, Nitya Shuris, Ananta, Garuda, Vishwaksena, etc., Sudarshana, Panchajanya, Kaumodiki, Nandaki, Shargam, etc. Then Mukta Jivatmas, Nitya Shuris and the Mukta Jivatmas, who were there once upon a time, imprisoned souls in Prakriti, but who got liberated either by practicing Bhakti Yoga or Sharanagati Yoga. Mukta Jivatmas, liberated souls. And the Baddha Jivatmas, those who are still here in the material world, bound by karma, imprisoned by their karma. And the Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana is beyond all these things. And great souls have attained salvation by getting rid of all their Sanchita karma and exhausting their Prarabdha karma. And again, Krishna says, Idam jnanam upashritya mama sadharmya magataha sarge panupajayante pralayena vyadanti cha. If you are fortunate enough to take up to this language, this knowledge, those particular stages who adopted that way of living, they all have sure attained Bhagavan's nature. They will never be born at the time of creation of even Brahma. And once you reach that Sri Vaikuntham, there is no death, even cosmic dissolution, Naimittika Pralayam at the end of every day of Brahma, Nitya Pralayam at the end of 100 years of Brahma will not affect them. What else you want other than attaining the nature of Bhagavan? You become like him. When we are here in this world, we have to go through the Prarabdha Karma and the Sanchita Karma. When you do Sharanagati, all your Sanchita Karma waiting for the next million births is completely burnt to ashes by Bhagavan. Whereas when you do Sharanagati, your Sanchita Karma will be burnt, but the Prarabdha Karma is not gone. When your Prarabdha Karma is exhausted, the soul will leave the body and the soul will attain salvation. Therefore, you choose what you want to do with your life. You want to come back and take birth again and go through the Garbhanarakam? Go ahead. You want to attain salvation and enjoy everlasting happiness with no old age, no disease, no death? Your choice. And when we come back, unfortunately forced to take a birth because of our karma, we don't even know what birth we take. It could be the birth of a Devi Devata, it could be a human being, it could be an animal, it could be a bird or a reptile, or it could be a plant or a tree. It is your choice. And how is creation affected? Bhagavan Krishna is the source of everything. Mama yonihe mahat brahma tasmin garbham ritamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Bhagavan Sriman Narayana is the cause of all these worlds. And all the Jivatmas are getting their body from a great thing called Brahman or Prakriti. Prakriti, Mother Nature. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna is placing all the souls. He is implanting the souls as germ seeds. into that womb. And all beings that are taking their birth, all souls who are taking birth, have to go through this samsara. All births come into existence from that giant womb called Prakriti. And why are we taking birth? Because we have to go through the karma phalam. What kind of birth we get? A kind of birth that is proportionate or compatible with the karma that we have to go through. If certain karma that we did, we get the karma phalam to be enjoyed like a dog. Karma phalam, nobody can avoid. Only to go to the karma phalam, we take birth. Now Krishna says, everyone, every individual who is taking birth, he is coming from the great womb only. The Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana once upon a time said in the 7th chapter, the 5 bhutas, panchabhutas, earth, water, fire, and ether, now come back to here. Mama yonirmahat brahma tasmin gabham didamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Prakriti is the womb and Krishna is the seed-giving father. Because Krishna says just in the very next verse itself, Sarva Yonishi Kaunteya Murtaya Sambhavantiya Tasam Brahma Mahat Yonihi Aham Bija Pradakpita. For every being who is taking birth in any womb, be it that of a Devi Devata or be it that of a Kashta, Prakriti is the womb and the seed-giving father is Lord Krishna. Do not think we are the only people who are smart, smarter than ourselves. There are other celestials called Yaksha, Kinnara, Garuda, Gandharva, Kimpurusha, Pannagas, Sura, etc. Or you can become animals. Brahman is the Prakriti. Sri Krishna is the seed-giving father. The Vedic way of creation, how creation started. It says there are 26 tattvas. A combination of these tattvas will create myself, yourself, every child, everyone in this world. What are those 26 tattvas? Prakriti. It is also referred to sometimes as Buddhi. Sorry, Prakriti, the non-sentient matter, Achetana. Prakriti, the non-sentient, Achetana matter. The second one is called Mahat. Sometimes this is also called as Buddhi. Mahat, discriminative intellect. Now, Prakriti, non-sentient matter, Mahat, sometimes called as Buddhi, the discriminative intellect. Next one is Ahankara, the ego, the feeling of I and my. Then comes mind, Manas, sometimes also called Buddhi. Then we have got 1, 2, 3, Prakriti, Mahat, Ahankara. Then we have the mind, the ego, the feeling of I and my. Then the most important one in our body, the mind, the manas. Afterwards, the 5 jnanendriyas. We have the first 4 entities, Prakriti, Mahat, Ahankara, and Manas. Now we have items 5 to 9, the 5 jnanendriyas, senses of knowledge. Now, when you look at it, the 5 jnanendriyas, Tvak, Chakshu, Shrotra, Jikva, Granas, the skin to feel, the eyes to see, the ears to hear, the tongue to taste, the nose to smell the breath. 10 to 4, the karmendriyas, the senses of action. The senses of action, karmendriyas, vak, pani, pada, payu, upastha. The mouth to talk, the hands to do things, the feet to walk. So, 5 karmendriyas. Then we have, in addition to all these things, in addition to vak, pani, pada, payu, upasthas, we have another 3 things called sub-elements, subtle elements, tanmatras, which are the qualities of the 5 elements. These pancha tanmatras, shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandhas. Shabda, the sound, characteristic of the sky. Shabda, sparsha, that you can feel. Rupa, you can see the form. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, the taste. Gandha, the smell, the fragrance. These are the 5 qualities, tanmatras. When you look at it, in the Panchabhutas, when you look at the Panchabhutas, namely Prithvi, the Mother Earth, its characteristic, smell, Gandha. Apa, Vayuhu, its characteristics, Rasa, the taste. Apa, Vayuhu, the quality of water, the Tanmatra of water. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa. Shabda for the sky, Sparsha for the wind, Rupa for the fire, Rasa for the water, smell for the earth. Then comes the Purusha, the Jivatma. After 24 tattvas, 25th is Jivatma. Chetana, the real embodiment of knowledge. And Paramatma, the 26th one, the Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana. This is how wise people have understood the Paramatma Tattvam. comprising of all the universe. Now Krishna says about the three gunas, Sattam, Rajastama, iti guna, Prakriti Sambhava, Nibadhanti Mahabaho, Dehe, Dehinam Avyayam. The self is immutable. Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. These three arise from the Moola Prakriti, from Prakriti. Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. They bind the self. They bind the self to go through their karma phalam. One should understand self is immutable, avyaya, never perishing, never disappearing. The three gunas can only be noticed in their transformed state. And it is the three gunas that are there keeping the soul confined to the body.
Are you ready?
It is the three gunas that make every one of us go to the karma phalam.
Who? I think she got enough.
Amma, mute your phone, Amma. Now, of the three gunas, Tatra Sattam Nimalatvat Prakashakamanayam Sugasangena Padnati Jnanasangena Chanagha. The mode of goodness called Sattva Guna. Even Sattva Guna means without any impurity, is very bright, is very illuminating. It is free from all kinds of morbidity. It will not cause any diseases. But Sattva Guna is there binding the Jivatma with attachment to happiness and to knowledge. That's why Krishna says even Sattva Guna cannot give you moksha. Because even Sattva Guna produces attachment. Attachment to the pleasure, attachment to the happiness, and attachment to knowledge. Sukha Sangyena Badnati Jnana Sangyena Charaka. The Sukham and Jnanam. Here Jnana means Jnana related to Vedas only. So even Sattva-guna is not going to help you for attaining salvation. When Sattva-guna itself is not helping, why talk about Rajoguna? Sattva-guna itself cannot help attain salvation, so how can Rajoguna, Tamoguna help? That's why Krishna says, Rajo Ragatmakam Vidhi Krishna Sangatamudbhavam Tannibadhani Kaunteya Karma Sangyana Dehinam. Krishna says, Arjuna, Rajoguna is of the nature of passion. Rajoguna is of the nature of passion. It comes out of deep desire and attachments. And of course, Rajoguna will certainly blind. He has to go through the karma. Rajoguna leads us to work and work and more work. Rajoguna keeps us occupied every time. Every time that we don't even have time to think of ourselves, time to think of Bhagavan. That is the concept of Rajoguna. That passion could mean either raga or anuraga. Passion comes from raga or anuraga. Passion means, it could also mean excessive attachment. Excessive attachment with the misguided, intelligence. That is the problem. Attachments will lead only to bondage. And these attachments will lead to insatiable desire for sense gratification. So, Trishna Sanga Samudbhavam, Trishna. Rajoguna is of the nature of attachment, which leads to anywhere between man woman attraction, sensuality, pleasure seeking. And that pleasure seeking is an endless thing. And meanwhile, without our knowledge, it produces lot of attachment to the family. Lot of attachment to the family, possessions, everything. Of course, when we say family, friends are also included. What will happen these attachments? We will be forced to take birth after birth after birth. Okay, Rajogunam no good. What about Tamogunam? When Rajogunam itself is no good, how can we expect Tamogunam to be good? Tamastvagyajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadarasya nidrabhi tadnibadhanati bharata. Tamoguna is born out of ajnana, false knowledge. And that Tamoguna is there in a very subtle way everywhere. Tamoguna, false knowledge, ajnana. Tamoguna leads to lethargy. Tamoguna leads to negligence. When you say false knowledge means knowledge which is not true. If it makes you understand adharma as dharma or dharma as adharma, that is also called viparita jnanam. Viparita jnanam. Not having the right knowledge. Jnana means correct perspective from the scriptures. Sattam Sike Sanjayati Rajakarmane Bharata Jnanam Avrjatamaha Pramade Sanjayatyuta. Sattva results in attachment to pleasure. Rajoguna results in attachment to work. Tamoguna, it envelops both jnana, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Tamoguna leads to negligence and procrastination. Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna are all qualities that came from Prakriti. They always coexist in our bodies and bind the imprisoned Atma. The three gunas, they bind the Atma to the body. Devotees seeking salvation are advised to transcend all the three gunas. No point in saying we are in Sattva guna. Krishna is not happy still with the Sattva guna. Yes, it is better than Rajoguna and Tamoguna, but not enough to please him to grant us salvation. And why do we always talk about salvation? Because that is the only place, if you go there, you will never take birth. That is the only place which gives you eternal life. And that Sharanagati guarantees you moksha, to come to the stage of Shuddha Sattva and enter Sivai Kuntam as a Shuddha Swachha Jivatma. Our moksham is 400% guaranteed. First by Varahaswami, then by Sita Devi, then by Rama, then by Krishna. In spite of that, we are not able to understand that. Rajastamas Chabi Bhuya Sattam Bhavati Bharata. Rajastattam Tamas Shiva Tamas Sattam Rajastha. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Arjuna, Sattva-guna. If Sattva-guna is there as a dominating factor, and when it overpowers Rajoguna and Tamoguna, Rajoguna dominates by overpowering Sattva-guna and Tamoguna. And of course, if you have Tamoguna will just engulf both Sattva-guna and Rajoguna. The three gunas are inherent to nature. We cannot avoid them. You can only change them. The eyes always want to see. Show him Krishna and Krishna only. One of the three gunas will dominate over the other two gunas. Whether they are sattvic people, rajasic people, tamasic people. When we say a person is sattvic, that doesn't mean he has no rajoguna or tamoguna. But the dominating factor is sattva-guna. Now, to a great extent, our thought process is influenced by the type of food that we eat. Therefore, if you eat the food that is pure, your thought process will be pure. That's why Upanishad Vakyam says, Ahara Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhehi. Only when the food that you eat is pure, you can expect purity in the mind. Where the food that we eat is not sattvic, we cannot expect the mind to be pure. Now Krishna says, Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha bhajayate, jnanam yada tada uddha viruddhe, sattva-michyuta. When do you say a person is there in sattva guna? When a person's knowledge, like a bright light, is illuminating from all the gateways, from the five senses of knowledge, from the jnanendriyas. from science, you understand something is illuminated. Means there is some source of light somewhere. And in this case, it is the knowledge, it is a jnana. When the jnana is illuminating from every side, the five senses of knowledge, jnanendriyas, the skin, the eyes, the ears, the tongue, and the nose. We should understand that person is going through the phases of sattva guna, which is dominating the other two gunas. Now, why do scriptures say that your behavior should be good? A small incident is enough. A very small incident is enough to make us fall down from our established standards. If we are not keeping good company, if we are behaving according to our own whims and fancies, do not expect we get salvation. Best example given here is Saubhari. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a Mahatma called Saubhari. This Saubhari had taken multiple forms, all at the same time. This Saubhari enjoyed in multiple forms with his wives, and each body can function independently. When a sattva guna in a person is dominating, and even though the bodies can function independently, Saubhari became many people who behaved independently. And all of them, even though the same Saubhari became all those people, in all of them, only one quality is dominating, two other, they're overpowered. What made Saubhari leave his meditation and come to family life? Saubhari knows Jalastambhana Vidya, how not to get drowned in water. Jalastambhana Vidya he knows, was meditating under the water. All of a sudden, he saw a family of fish, the husband fish, the mother fish, and the baby fish. Immediately, his mind went on brooding. Why not? I have a family. Means I need to get married. I need to have a wife. And finally, he became a householder. He became many, many householders. And each of them have different gunas. The dominating guna. Now Krishna says, Lobha pravrittirarambha karmanamashmaspha rajasyetani jayante vruddhe bhartarshapha. Arjuna, who is called the best of the best in the Bharata Vamsha, when greed and enhanced activity and constant beginning of new projects, unrest, and of course, craving for sense gratification. They are all manifest, means Rajoguna is there dominating. over the other two gunas, sattva guna and tamo guna. Remember, this greediness is a very dangerous thing. Krishna specifically says in the 16th chapter, Kama krosas tatha lobha tasmat etatrayam chajet. Lobha, greediness, is a quality that is one of the three wide doors open to enter hell. Trividham narakasyedam dwaram nashanamatmanah. Kama krodhas tatha lobha tasmat etatrayam chajet. Once we have the craving for sense gratification, without any concern for scriptural restrictions, we must understand we are in Rajoguna. Now, the other quality of Tamoguna is avyakta, aprakashaha, apravrittischa, pramado, moha evacha, tamasyetani jayante, vivruddhe kurunandana. Now, Krishna is saying, Arjuna, when knowledge is not manifested, it becomes non-illuminated. And inactivity will come in, kick in. Because of inactivity, because of negligence and delusion, delusion, Tamo guna is prevailing. Tamo guna is prevailing, dominating the other two, Sattva and Rajoguna. Because knowledge is not manifesting, when Tamo guna is dominating, Sattva and Rajoguna are suppressed. Here, illumination refers to the knowledge of the self. Now, when death happens, when Sattva is there in the ascendance, Yada Satya Pravrdhetu Pralayam Yadeha Prati Tadotrumidam Loka Namaran Pratipajate. When a soul leaves this physical body made up of the Panchabhutas, and when the soul attains pure worlds of Indra, Surya, Brahma, so when a soul leaves the body, when Sattva is there predominant, the soul attains the pure worlds of those with knowledge, of those who know the higher level of a subject. A pure soul means the soul will attain such worlds as Indraloka, Suryaloka, Brahmaloka. They are pure worlds. If a soul, even after becoming a Devi Devata, is not realizing that we are not the body, we are the soul, is not realizing, The soul attaining Indraloka, Suryaloka, Brahmaloka is of no use at all. Because the soul taking birth in that kind of words, Indraloka, Suryaloka, Brahmaloka, is busy enjoying his karma phalam. When Devi Devatas, they want to attain moksham, as Krishna says very specifically in Bhagavad Gita, Shuchinam Simatam Yehe Yoga Bhrashta Vijayate. Shuchinam Simatam Yehe Yoga Bhrashta Vijayate. Krishna says in the next verse, next sentence, Adhava Yonameva Kule Bhakti Dhimatam. People who practice yoga and cannot attain perfection will be born in the family of very religious people, very orthodox people. But those who reached almost close to perfection and still did not get perfection will be born in the family of Mahayogis. Adhava yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatam etadhi dullabhadaram janma. Now comes what is the highest goal that you can aspire for. The highest goal you can aspire for is Sri Vaikuntham. Why it is called the highest goal? Because that is the only place where you can enjoy eternal bliss, Shashwata Anandam. Brahmanubhavam, Brahmanandam. The happiness arising out of Brahma. The happiness arising out of your knowledge about Brahma. And how will that Brahmanubhavam manifest? The Brahmanubhavam will manifest in the devotees as doing eternal service to the Divya Dampatis, considering them as their mother and father, doing eternal service in Sri Vaikuntham. That is the highest goal. The highest goal is to attain eternal bliss. That bliss you will get only when you worship both the Divya Dampatis, Sri Mahalakshmi and Sriman Narayana. That is possible only in Vaikuntham. And once you attain Vaikuntham, you enjoy only that Parabrahmanubhavam. And that Parabrahmanubhavam means serving the divine parents, Sri Mahalakshmi and Sriman Narayana. Not here in Sri Vaikuntham. Now comes what will happen at certain times. Rajasi prayangatva karma sangisha jayate tata prarinattamasi modhayonisha jayate. When the soul is leaving the body, when Rajoguna is prevailing, it will take birth in the family that is attached to doing desire-motivated works. Rajasi prayangatva karma sangisha jayate. When the soul leaves the body, when is there thinking of Rajoguna, we will be born in families that are doing desire-motivated works, and that is what we are also doing. If a soul leaves the body, when Tamoguna is predominant, that birth is sure to be when Tamoguna is predominant and when the soul leaves the body, we become just animals, snakes, birds, and of course plants and trees. It is up to us whether you want to be in Sattva-guna always, or Rajoguna or Tamoguna, and face the consequences. If you want to be born again, leave the body in Rajoguna or Tamoguna. If you want not to be born again, leave the body in Shuddha Sattvam. That's what exactly we can understand in one easy way. Karmanaha sukrutasyahuhu sattvikam nirmalam phalam. Rajasastu phalam dukkam ajnanam tamasappalam. Now comes, what is the role of knowledge? Animals whose vertebral column is horizontal, they are called Tiryaks. So now let us take it one at a time. The three gunas, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Rajoguna motivates a person to desire motivated actions. And of course, that is including happiness in heavens. Tamoguna will force the soul to have a birth as an animal or a plant. So do not even think of, because we don't know when we are going to die. Therefore, it is better to be in Sattva Guna or Shuddha Sattva rather than ourselves punishing ourselves by resorting to Tamoguna and Rajoguna. Now, when we become animals or plants, we have no chance of self-realization or God realization. On the physical plane, you may feel, oh, a puppy looks very cute. A kitten looks very cute. A bird looks very nice. That is from the material perspective. When death happens, when we are thinking, when we are there, immersed in Tamo Guna, when death happens, when we are in Tamo Guna, rebirth is guaranteed as an animal or a plant. Animal or plant has no realization at all. Therefore, there is no moksha prapti. Only when you are born as a Devi Devata or a human being, Sattva sanjayate jnanam rajaso lobhe vacha pramadamoho tamaso bhavato jnaname vacha. From Sattva Guna comes knowledge, and greed only comes from Rajoguna. Bhavataha ajnanamevacha. Sattva Guna gives knowledge, Rajoguna produces greediness, and Tamoguna produces negligence and delusion. Negligence and delusion are other forms of ignorance. That is what is happening with our death, whether we leave the body in Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, or Tamoguna. Sattva-guna will help us do the self-realization or God realization. Rajoguna leads to a great craving to do desire motivated actions only. If I do this, what will I get? If I do this, what will I get? And if you look at Tamoguna, that leads only to birth as animals and plants. Again, Krishna says, Urdhvam gachanti satvastha madhye tishtanti rajasaha, jagan yavana vrtistha adho gachanti tamasaha. Urdhvam gachanti satvastha. The people who are in Sattva Guna, well established in Sattva Guna, they move upwards. Means they'll be reborn as Devi Devatas in Swargaloka. Those who are well established in Sattva Guna, after leaving this body, those souls will be going upwards to be born as gods in Swargaloka. But those people who are there, sticking to Rajoguna, they'll be remaining the same. That means they may be reborn as human beings on the planet Earth. And if we die during the Rajoguna, we'll be there in the middle, namely, we'll be born again as a human being. Whereas, when we die during Tamoguna, we will be simply degrading downwards. Means we'll be born as animals or plants. Why do you want to take that kind of chances? Even in Sattva-guna, you go only upwards to the level of gods. But those jobs are not eternal. When the Punya Karma is over, you have to come back and take birth again. Why not we ask for liberation? Liberation means is liberation from the samsara sagara. Those who are in Tamoguna, they only go downwards. They degrade only to the level of subhumans. When we have no human values, our next birth will be like animals, worms, insects. नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारं यथा दृष्टान् पश्यति गुणेभ्यः परं वेत्ति मद्भावं स्वधिगच्छति. The Jivatma, which is full of knowledge, that Jivatma is able to realize that the three gunas are the agents of all actions, whether good or bad, three gunas. And we must also understand the self is different from the body. And also we should understand the self is different from all the three gunas. And those people who understand the reality of the Sankhya Yoga also will reach Bhagavan. Those kind of people who have transcended the three gunas, they will attain the state of Bhagavan. A person who wants to attain salvation should be remaining always in pure sattva guna. A person who wants to attain salvation must always be in sattva guna. Actually, Shuddha Sattvam for salvation, Sattva guna to become Devi Devatas, Rajo guna to become the human beings, Tamo guna to become the animals and plants. Very simple. They also realize that gunas that are there working as agents of all actions. And we also should know that the self is pure and the self is of infinite knowledge. And when a Jivatma attains a liberated state, Bhagavan can give anything and everything. Gunanitana kicha tindehi dehasamadhuvan janma murchijara dukkaihi muktamritamashute. Krishna says that particular embodied soul who surpasses all the three gunas, he has to overcome sattva guna, rajo guna, and tamo guna. A person is said to be completely liberated from all sufferings of birth, death, old age, and we will attain immortality. Now, what we have to understand here is the liberated souls, the just liberated soul, is handed over to the group of the Mukta Jivatmas. Let this soul also enjoy happiness as much as you do. The only difference is this soul has come now to Sivaikuntam. The other soul has come a couple of days back, or a few years back, or a few yugas back. That should be the only difference. Otherwise, everybody's enjoyment should be the same. That's why it is called Brahmanubhavam. And sometimes you don't even have to do anything. Even if you watch those divine actions, you will get the benefit. And such people who attain the knowledge, jnana, they attain immortality. That means they will reach Sivaikuntam. अर्जुन उवाच कैर्लिङ्गस्मिन् गुणानेतो अतीतो भवति प्रभो किमाचारः कथं चैतां स्त्री कथं चैतां स्त्री गुणान् अतिवर्तते त्रीन् गुणान् अतिवर्तते. Now Arjuna is asking, hey Prabhu Krishna, what are the characteristics of a person who crossed the three gunas? How will he behave? How could they come to the stage of going beyond the three gunas? And how to identify such people? Krishna says, very easy, Arjuna, listen to my recipe. Prakashancha pravrittincha mohameva pandava navyecha saprabhutani nanivruttani kankshati. Now Krishna says, those people who are there interested in spiritual elevation, all those people who crossed and went beyond the trigunas, they do not hate illumination, nor they do not hate any activity. If and when that illumination is present, they do not desire anything. Illumination here means the knowledge due to Sattva-guna. It is something like a aura around the head of great people. Activity means Rajoguna. Delusion means Tamoguna. Now let's go and see how the three gunas are there affecting. At what point of time we can expect that we are there in that range of behaving in such a way that Paramatma will recognize us. For that, Krishna says, Udasina Vadasino Gunaryona Vichalyate Guna Vartante Ichiva Yuva Tishtatina Ingate. Udasinavat Asino Udasinavat Asino. Such great realized souls are satisfied just with the vision of their own self or with the vision of a super self, Paramatma. When a Jivatma is completely satisfied with the vision of the self or the super self, and they are not concerned and undisturbed by the effects of the other three gunas, then they will know it is the gunas that are acting. If you are aware that the gunas are the ones that are acting and remain calm, definitely you are there in the path of God realization. Now comes how do they behave who have come to the balanced stage? Sama dukkasaka swastaha samadoshtashma kanchanaha tulya priya priyo dhiraha tulya nindatma samsutihi. For the people who are there very impartial to anyone, that those people who want to cross over the burdens of samsara, they remain the same in pleasure and pain. They remain the same, very calm. They focus only on their self or the super self. For them, a lump of dirt a lump of dirt, a stone, or gold are the same. Sama loshta ashma kanchanaha. Sama equal. Loshta ashma kanchanaha. A lump of dirt or a stone or gold are the same because all of them have no value. We want to enjoy nature, so we crave for gold, money, etc. Mahatmas don't care about material comforts or possessions, so they realize the self or the super self. They treat all the people the same. Whether the earth person is a very close friend or a relative or a person who hates them, they treat everyone the same. They hate him, but the realized soul will not hate them. And of course, they are very well balanced. They will not jump to conclusions. What are their other qualities? The self-realized souls. Their other qualities are मानापमानयोस्तुल्यः तुल्यो मित्रारिपक्षयोः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी ये गुणातीतः स उच्यते. For them, honor and dishonor are the same. Somebody honors them, somebody criticizes them. Somebody's honor or dishonor is of no matter to a person who is a realized person, who is a self-realized or God-realized person. Their attitude is the same towards a friend or an enemy. Now, the people who are there in the realized state, they abandon all initiative for new enterprises, and especially new enterprises for material gains. And those people who are like that, you can say, yes, they crossed the threshold and they went beyond the three gunas. This way they are called guna atita, because they are immune to the working of the gunas. Even if they see, it won't hurt them because they are no. This body denominations have nothing to do with the soul. I am the soul. Very soon I will leave the body. Very soon I will reach Sivaikuntham. Why should I worry about the material comforts, discomforts, etc.? That is how they behave. Now, another thing they all will do, they will not think anybody as their enemies. Others are thinking that they are their enemies. That is the problem. A pure soul, a person in Shuddha Sattvam will never think bad about anyone. It is the other people who are thinking bad about this person. And a realized soul will not worry about anybody thinking anything about him. Now Krishna says, you want to become a self-realized person? Good. Here is the recipe. Mam chayo abhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitavan brahmabhuyaya kalpate. Krishna says very clearly, only those devotees with pativrata bhakti bhavam, single-minded focus only on Bhagavan Sri Krishna. For a pativrata Sri, single-minded focus only on her husband. Same way here, that pativrata bhavam, single-minded focus on Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And they worship and they serve Bhagavan Krishna only. Those people will go beyond the three gunas. And only such people become fit for the true state of Brahman. The true state of Brahman is also called Brahma Samyam. They attain Vaikuntham. And absolutely they have no worries. They have no worries about Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. They have no fear of rebirth. They have no fear of death. They have no fear of old age. They have no fear of old age or diseases. What else you want? Neither there is birth, nor there is death, nor old age, nor diseases. How fortunate a person should be to reach the kingdom of God. Only a handful. Prahlada, Hanuman, Mirabai. Such devotees always maintained Pativrata Bhakti. Unconditionally, they maintained Pativrata Bhavam. That's why Krishna blessed. When Krishna says, Mam chayo abhicharena mam, that it is Saguna Brahma. It is not Nirguna Brahma. That Saguna Brahma is Satyasandha. That Saguna Brahma is Satyasankalpa. Whatever he thinks will come true. That Saguna Brahma is Paramakaruniko Bhagavan, the most merciful one. He will respond the same to all the people who do Sharanagati. That's why he's called Sharanagata Vatsala. Just a single-minded and highly focused Pativrata Bhava. You can surpass the three gunas and you will attain liberation. No more birth, no more death. Our acharyas recommended only Avyabhichara Bhakti. Under any circumstances, our acharyas never recommended multiple Devi Devata worship. Focused, intense devotional activity with only one Bhagavan. Just as a Pativrata totally dedicates her life, her everything to her for her husband. Same thing, a pure devotee who wants to transcend the three gunas will be like a Pativrata with exclusive worship of that Paramapurusha. The next chapter defines why Bhagavan is called Purushottama. Until then, let us be happy calling him Paramapurusha, the most exalted person. While worshipping the Lord, they are not looking for any benefits. Their only benefit is worshipping the Lord, surrendering to the Lord. And Krishna is using the word second for the second time, Pativrata Bhava. First time he used in chapter 13, verse 10. Now here, chapter 14, verse 26. And one more time we will see Krishna using the same word, Avyabhichara Bhakti, Avyabhichara Bhavam, when we go to the 18th chapter. So you understand how important it is to maintain Mere to Girdhar Gopal, Dusra na koi, Avyabhichara Bhakti, Anyadha Sharanam Nasti, Tvam eva sharanam mama. Everything points only to one thing. Avyabhichara bhakti. Vina Venkatesham nanadho nanadha sada Venkatesham smarami smarami. Avyabhichara bhakti. Vasudeva sutam na param kalaye. Avyabhichara bhakti. Unakke namachevom. Avyabhichara bhakti. Yan amudanai kandakangal matrundinai kanave. Avyabhichara bhakti. Be fortunate, sir, to follow that kind of avyabhichara bhakti and attain the Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana. You have that Pativrata Bhavam, you are the most fortunate person. You have elevated yourself to the level of 1 in a million. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yadasadhi yatam siddhanam kashinam vitatvarah. 1 in 1,000 will try for perfection, and if there are 1,000 people trying for perfection, only one will attain. 1 in a million. That's why moksham is guaranteed only for 1 in a million. Because only 1 in a million will exert to follow that Pativrata Bhavam. Finally, Krishna concludes by saying, Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya vyesacha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya cha ekantikasya cha. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is the only one who is the foundation of Parabrahma. What do you mean? Bhagavan Sri Krishna is the one who can bless us with all the 4 Purusharthas. Purusha Arthas, the greatest human achievements. For ordinary people, achievements, getting a good degree, getting a good job, making lots of money, achievements. For a spiritual person, there are only 4 achievements. Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Among the 4, for those people who are perfect, not even Dharma, Artha, Kama, only Moksha. And that they have mastered using the knowledge called Pativrata Bhavam. And you have it, you got the greatest title from Krishna, Sa Mahatma Sudurlabhaha. What else you want as perfection? If a university gives you a degree, you are very happy. But what if the Jagat Guru Bhagavan Krishna gives you a great title, Sa Mahatma Sudurlabhaha? Krishna is giving you the greatest of the greatest title, Mahatma. Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma Shashvichantim Nigachati. Krishna is giving you the title Mahatma. Krishna is giving you the title Dharmatma. Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma Shashvat Shantim Nigachati. You will attain eternal peace. Eternal peace. Nothing to worry about coronavirus. Nothing to worry about the huge tsunami at the end of the day of Brahma. or at the end of the 100 years of Brahma. When you are in Vaikuntham, you will even know when a Brahma's day is over, when again the next day of Brahma begins, and you will even know how long this Brahma is going to live, and you will even know who will be the next Brahma. You become as knowledgeable as Bhagavan himself. Except 4 qualities. When you go to Vaikuntham, you will have all the qualities of Lord Srimanarayana. If Srimanarayana is 100% perfect, you will be 96% perfect, except 4 qualities. You will be the same as Narayana. Those 4 things, Mahalakshmi will never become your wife. Mahalakshmi will never become a Jivatma's wife, even after attaining moksha. Mahalakshmi will never come and sit on your chest to form that constant sitting on the chest of Mahavishnu. Sri Mahalakshmi produced an image of herself as a white patch on his chest. Srivatsam. Mahalakshmi will not sit on your chest, so you will not have Srivatsam. You cannot create the universes like Bhagavan Srimanarayana. And the last one, you cannot give moksham to other Jivatmas like Srimanarayana. Even after attaining Vaikuntham, you are still a Jivatma, a Mukta Jivatma, a Nitya Shuri, you are still a Jivatma. A Jivatma cannot give moksham to another Jivatma. Enjoy going to Vaikuntham. Enjoy following Pativrata Bhakti. Bhakti hi avyabhicharini. Then you have achieved the best of the 4 Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. The best of the 4 Purusharthas, Moksha. You qualified yourself to be called as a Mahatma by Krishna. Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma, you qualified yourself to be called as a Dharmatma by Krishna. You qualified yourself to be addressed as Mahatma by Krishna. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham. Bhagavan says he will reciprocate with you the same way as you love Bhagavan, as you deal with Bhagavan. What else you want, sir? The highest perfection of human life is moksha, and that is very easy to attain. That's what Krishna says. May you all be fortunate enough to follow that avyabhichara bhakti, avyabhichara bhavam, and attain Sriman Narayana, attain Sri Vaikuntham. Never go through the Garbha Narakam. Do not worry about rebirth. Do not worry about becoming an animal. Do not worry about becoming a plant. Other side, don't even care about becoming a god. Enjoy avyabhichara bhavam and attain moksham. That's why this is called Gunatraya Bhag Yogam, depending on the Rajoguna, Samoguna, and Sattva-guna. Then you become Gunatita. Now Krishna is leaving the ball in your court. You want to go through unimaginable number of years, thousands of years, to wipe off your sins by doing the upasana of Bhakti Yoga, or you want to do Sharanagati, in just a matter of 10 minutes procedure, you are qualified to get moksha. Actual Sharanagati may be a half an hour procedure, but you have to maintain that Pativrata Bhavam throughout your life. That is the real acid test. And if you can maintain it, Mahatma, Dharmatma, Mame Vaishasa Satyante Pratijane Priyosame. For devotees like you only, Krishna gave a promise. I promise in the name of truth, you will come to me. That is the greatness of Krishna. Enjoy your Pativrata Bhavam and enjoy your reaching Sri Vaikuntham. Narayana, questions, Amma, if you have any questions. Amma, Mala, no questions, Amma.
No questions asked so far, Swamiji. Anybody can just ask if they have any.
Sir, you can unmute your phones if you have a question, sir. All our devotion is of no use if we don't have the Pativrata Bhava. And absolutely no extra effort is needed if you have that Pativrata Bhava. Such a unique concept is the Pativrata Bhava, which is a must for Sharanagati. Imma, no question. Yeah, go ahead, Imma.
There was some question that I think someone asked, why we cannot surrender to all the Trideta.
Why we cannot surrender to all the
Trimurti.
Oh, I see. Very good, Amma. Simple answer, Amma. Mala, what is your visa status, Mala?
Citizen.
Very good. You are the right person to answer this question. Very good. How did you become a citizen of United States? You applied for the citizenship. The immigration officer called you for an interview. In the interview hall, he kept a huge American flag. He asked you to come there, stand up, raise your hand, keep your hand on your chest, and now make a promise. From today, my loyalty is only to America, and sign the paper. You promise and you sign the paper. You get your citizenship. Suppose at that time you say, sir, I love America, but I love two more countries, maybe Russia, maybe UK. I want to love all three. I want to show my loyalty to all three. But please remember, I love America. Give me citizenship. What will the immigration officer say, Mala?
Deny.
Emma?
Deny the citizenship.
Oh, denied. Good. Not just denied. You know what he will say? Madam, get up. You are wasting your time and my time. You want citizenship? This is the only way you get. Please. Go to China, go to Russia, go to UK, get their citizenship, but not American citizenship. You want American citizenship? You must give your loyalty, promise your loyalty to America only and sign the paper. Now, for American citizenship, just as you have to pledge your loyalty. Sharanagati means you are applying for the citizenship of Vaikuntham. You are applying for the citizenship of Vaikuntham. The Acharya who is administering the Sharanagati to you is the immigration officer. Immigration officer appointed by Sriman Narayana himself. in the Acharya Parampara, the Acharya is exerting a promise from you. Ananyas-chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate sakrudeva prapannaya tava asmi iti yachate mam ekam sharanam raja. He is exerting a promise from you. My loyalty from today is only to Sriman Narayana. Then only, okay, Vaikuntham citizenship granted. I want to worship Brahma and Rudra also. Sir, you are wasting your time and my time, sir. That's not how you get Sri Vaikuntham citizenship. Sri Vaikuntham citizenship is exclusively reserved for those who want to follow Pativrata Bhakti. As I told you that Sharanagati is like a marriage. The marriage you had in the material world is between the body of a man and the body of a woman. Sharanagati is a spiritual marriage between the Jivatma, the real living entity in a living person, a human being, and that Paramatma, that super soul, Sri Krishna. When you are entering into a marriage agreement, you are giving your promise that you will be loyal to your husband. And that husband is only one and only one husband. You cannot pledge loyalty to three husbands. If you pledge loyalty to three husbands, it is not called Pativrata Bhavam. And that is a prerequisite for Sri Vaikuntham citizenship. There is no question of why can't I. It is a question of myself going for America citizenship, US citizenship, and saying, I want to have the citizenship of 3 more countries in addition to America, or 2 more countries in addition to America. Of course, I love America. But my loyalty is not only to America, but to UK, to Russia. Sorry, not acceptable. Next question. Even though you say Trimurtis, but remember about the three Murtis, even though they are three, still Srimad Narayana is the chief of both Brahma and Isha. Where is it mentioned, Amma? You all know that. Can you say one word that says, even though Narayana is one among the three Murtis, he is still the Lord of Brahma and Rudra? Where is it mentioned? Just one word. Anyone of you, ma?
Keshava Singh.
Exactly, Keshava. When you call Bhagavan as Keshava, Kaha, Jalam, the one that came out of the water, lotus, from the lotus who came out, Brahma. Kaha, Brahma. Isha, Shankara, Rudra. One who is the Lord of both Brahma and Shankara is called Narayana. Read Atharvana Veda, where it says, when the most highly qualified Jivatmas are available, they will be given the portfolio of Brahma. They will be given the portfolio of Rudra. They will be getting the portfolio of Indra. If no Jivatma qualifies to become the Brahma or Rudra or Indra, Narayanat Brahma Jayate, Narayanat Rudro Jayate, Narayanat Indro Jayate, Narayanat Prajapataya Prajayante, Narayanat Dvadasaditya Rudra Vasavacha Sarvanicha Chanda Gumse, Narayanadeva Prapadyante, Narayane Pravartante, Narayane Praliyante, Adhanityo Narayanah, Brahma Narayanah, Shivascha Narayanah, Shakrascha Narayanah, Dhyava Prithivya Ucha Narayanah, This is what the Atharvana Veda is saying, sir. Instead of United States citizenship, you want to put it in a different way, in an academic way. A gentleman is there, completed his medicine, did his internship, did his fellowship or another internship in surgery. He appeared for the board certifying exam. In the board certifying interview, personal interview, he is asked a few questions, certain procedures, certain protocol procedures. One should understand in protocol procedures, you have zero tolerance, you have zero leeway. You cannot use any of your brains. You just follow it meticulously, because this is the best of the best therapy available, that is perfected by hundreds of experts in the field, protocol treatments. So in the orals, you say, oh, even though there is a protocol treatment, I feel I can add 2 additional things to this. I can subtract 2 additional things to this. Beena, are you there, Amma?
Yes, Swamiji.
What will happen, Bina, if you answer that question for protocol treatments? You want to add 2 more or you want to subtract 2 more?
I'm not sure, Swamiji.
They will simply say, do some more, spend some more time, get some more practice and come next time, we'll see.
Yes.
That's all, Amma.
Yes, Swamiji.
Dilip, are you there? Dilip. Dilip?
Yes, Swamiji, Narayan.
Dilip, you tell me, Dilip, in protocol treatments, do you have even 1 millimeter tolerance?
No.
That's all. Amma, both these people are certified medical doctors, Amma. Both Dilip and Bina, that's why I call their names, because I know them. In protocol treatments, you may be a great surgeon, big doctor, a great doctor. You absolutely have zero tolerance. You cannot take any concessions, because that protocol is developed by experts in the field with multiple years of experience and widely tested and approved as beneficial to every patient it was applied to. That's how they develop it. Sharanagati is a concept that is developed by experts. And the protocol is Pativrata Bhakti. You want to have more than one and still become a Pativrata? Good luck. We'll see you next time, they say. Unnecessarily, you wasted this life and you had to go through Garbhanarakam one more time. By the time you realize it in the next birth. So not possible, Mala. You respect every Devi Devata, but you worship only Sriman Narayana. There is a difference between worship and respect. A woman, she loves her husband, but she respects her father-in-law, mother-in-law, her husband's elder brother, younger brother, as brother-in-law. She respects. When the father-in-law, mother-in-law, or the brother-in-law visits their house, she will smile. She will welcome them. She will make them sit comfortably in the living room, even in the family room, or even in the dining room, even into the kitchen. She will give them nice coffee. She will give them tea. She will give them nice lunch. She will give them nice dinner. But when it comes to her private space, her own bedroom, only the husband has admission. Not the father-in-law, not the mother-in-law, not the brother-in-law, nobody. She loves her husband. She respects the other people. Respect to other Devi Devatas is a must even after Sharanagati. But worship is only limited to the one and the only one. Nishkalo Niranjano Nirvigalpo Nirakhyataha Shuddho Deva Eko Narayanaha Nat Dvitiyosti Kashite. It is easy for some schools of thought to criticize, but they have never studied the Vedas. They have never understood the Upanishads. If they know, then nobody will say Ekeshwaropasana alone can give moksham, but multiplicity in your Pativrata Bhakti is not at all in the protocol. Go ahead, Ma. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, Swamiji. So the two more questions from last week. One was, so in all these examples where, like you said, American citizenship and all, these are all human, but Paramatma, Krishna is Paramatma. How can he claim that you have to only worship me? And that's something people are not able to digest.
Now, to understand Paramatma Tattvam, examples in the material world are given which are very close. And the Paramatma Tattvam is much more complicated. On the same token, as you say, that how can a material example justify Paramatma who is beyond all these things? Then how can an individual opinion overrule the protocol developed by experts who attained salvation? Everyone who attained salvation, Mirabai, मेरे तो गिरधर गोपाल दूसरा न कोई, आंडाळ உனக்கே நாமாட்சிவோம், திருப்பானாழ்வார் என் அமுதனை கண்ட கங்கள் மற்றொன்னினை காணாவே, ಅನ್ನಮಾಚಾರ್ಯ నరహరి కీర్తన నానిన నోట నరుని కీర్తించదన. Every one of them. Bhagavan Krishna himself, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. Bhagavan Krishna himself. Okay, human examples, forget about them. Follow just Krishna. Worship Devi Devatas. You will go only to Devaloka. Worship Pitru Devatas. You will go only to Pitraloka. Worship Ganadipas, Bhuta Preta Ganas. You will go to Ganaloka. Worship Sri Krishna only. You will go to Vaikuntham, Krishna Loka, Moksham. You go to Devaloka, but you can enjoy there only as long as your Punya Karma is there. Kshine Punye Marchalokam Vishanti. The minute Punya Karma is over, you will be sent out, you will come back and take birth again, Garbha Narakam. Forget about Devaloka. The highest world in Prakriti, Brahmaloka. Even if you go to Brahmaloka worshipping Devi Devatas, you will go only to Brahmaloka, but even then you will come back after exhausting your Punya Karma. Mama Pechyata Kaunteya Punarjanma Navidyate. That means you have not understood the concept of Vaikuntham. You are equating Vaikuntham to Brahmaloka, Indraloka or anything. These lokas are in Prakriti. Vaikuntham is beyond Prakriti. These lokas, if you go, you will come back. Only Vaikuntham, if you go, you will not come back. You come back, you are again immersed in karma. You are released, no more karma. Therefore, don't take material examples. Take only what Krishna gave. Why you are going to other Devi Devatas? Sorry to say, what did Krishna say, sir? Why you are going to other Devi Devatas? Kamaistair hrutajnanaha prapadyante anya devataha. Krishna never said Brahma is equal to me. Krishna never said Shankara is equal to me. Krishna said they are Anya Devatas, they are other Devi Devatas. Because your mind is attached to material benefits. Kamaha, material benefits. Hritajnanaha, because your mind is there overpowered by material benefits, you lost your intelligence. Hritajnanaha. That is why you want to go to other Devi Devatas. Your mind is not mature enough to know the difference between Paramatma and Jivatma. A Jivatma who is himself a Baddha Jivatma, still bound by karma, cannot give you moksham. A Jivatma with Prakriti Sambandham, with karma, cannot be equal to Paramatma. That is why Anya Devata Puja is a no for Sharanagati. Got it, Amma?
Yes, Swamiji.
Go ahead, Amma. Any other questions? Good luck, sir. Go ahead, Amma. Go ahead.
Just last week, I remember there was one question about explain about Dattatreya.
Amma, what's it, Amma?
Explain about Dattatreya.
Dattatreya. Good. Again, same Pativrata Bhavan. Anasuya, Mahapativrata. Atri Maharshi, one of the Prajapatis. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankara. All three of them blessed the couple, Atri and Anasuya. The child born to Atri and Anasuya with the blessings of Brahma is moon, Chandra. The child born to Atri and Anasuya with the blessings of Vishnu, Dattatreya. The child born to Atri and Anasuya with the blessings of Shankara is a Durvasa. Datta Atreya. Sriman Narayana himself has come as an adopted child of Atri Maharshi. Datta adopted Atreya, who propounded the Sankhya Siddhanta. So the yoga of Dattatreya is way different from the way some people think. So Dattatreya is entirely a different concept, not the way that we think. So briefly, he is the son of Atri Maharshi and Anasuya, direct Amsha Sambhuta of Srimad Narayana. All right, Amma. So next week we'll continue with the most wonderful chapter of Bhagavad Gita called Purushottama Yoga. Why that Bhagavan is called Purushottama, why others are called Jivatmas. Narayana.
Saryaji, there is one question.
Yeah, go ahead, Amma.
When and how one gets a signal that he or she is ready for Sharanagati?
Very simple, Mala. Very simple, Mala. When you were there, 16 years of age, your father casually mentioned, Mala, don't you think I should get you married? You got mad at your husband. What nonsense are you talking? You said. You are 18. Your father again brought the topic, Mala, can we arrange your marriage? Your tone has changed. No, not now. Let me finish my degree first. You finish your degree, you are 21. Your dad came and said, Mala, can we get you married? You said, no, give me 2 more years. Let me do some job and try to see whether I can live by myself. You are 23, 24. Your dad brought the topic again, Mala, can we get you married? You said, it's okay, Dad. Go ahead, no problem. It's okay, Dad. You tell me. Age 16, you said, what nonsense are you talking? Age 18, you said, no, I must get my degree. My priority is degree. Age 21, at least I want to do a job for a couple of years. Age 23, 24, it's okay, Dad, please go ahead. How do you know you're ready for marriage? You will know it. Same thing. When your mind is there attracted to material things, your mind says you are not ready. When your mind is there attracted to Krishna, your mind says, this is what I want. When you are 16, your focus is only how to enjoy with friends, how to go to a college, how to get good college. At 18, your priority is only how to get a good degree. At 21, your priority is only how to get a good job. But only at 24, you thought, maybe I should get married. These are all nothing. Friends, good, but not everything. Degree, good, but not everything. Job, good, but not everything. Marriage, husband, whom I can love and who will love me is everything. It will come to you automatically. Once you are, and you will know it automatically. Same thing with Bhagavan. When your love for Bhagavan Krishna is perfect, you will not hesitate to follow anything and everything what Krishna says. Only when your love for Krishna is not 100%, you will have your own opinions. That is what is called in Sharanagati, Paratantriyam and Swatantriyam. Paratantriyam, only 2 words in your entire dictionary. Yes, sir. Krishna said it? Yes, sir. Krishna said it? Yes, sir. That's it. Swatantriyam, even though Krishna said that Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, I want to worship 3 more gods. Even though Krishna said Ahimsa Sabata Tushtihi, no, I'm still interested in non-vegetarian. Swatantriyam. Paratantriyam, yes, sir. Krishna said Ahimsa, yes, sir. Krishna said Avyabhichara Bhakti, yes, sir. You have an Atma, and that tells you exactly. Got it?
Yes, Swami.
Narayana Ma.